Rabindranath Tagore, the man who gave us the concept of Jibon Devata, the supreme consciousness of life. A prime voice in 19th century Bengal and the nationalist movement in India, Rabindranath Tagore is omnipresent and a major intellectual figure in world literature. A writer for all time, he voiced universal concerns which made him and his work popular not only in India but to the rest of the world as well. He talked about combining the Western world's marvelous training of intellect with the East's faith in the eternal. He wanted his home and the world in the West to find each other in fullness of truth. This led him to see his Nobel Prize award as a symbol of joining two great hemispheres of the human world across the sea. Thus, the unbounded appeal of Rabindranath has crossed all boundaries of East and West and still continues to illuminate our minds and warm our hearts.
Rabindranath Tagore is one of the proud sons of India, who was the first one to receive the Nobel Prize from Asia. This multi-talented personality is at once a philosopher, poet, dramatist, painter, novelist, educationalist, and a composer challenging the conventional education system. He played a vital role in modernizing the Bengali art. To Tagore, the whole universe is a manifestation of one all-powerful being, which pervades all time and space. He recognizes that there is a divine spark in each and everything. His Gitanjali reflects this consciousness and feeling. He says, "Leave this chanting and singing and telling of beads. Whom dost thou worship in this lonely dark corner of a temple with doors all shut? Open thine eyes and see thy God is not before thee." Geet means song and Anjali means offering. Tagore published Gitanjali in India in 1910. He translated it into prose poems in English as song offerings. The major theme of Gitanjali is devotion to God. Gitanjali proclaims that God is neither an abstraction but an ever-present force and an all-pervasive influence. According to Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the poems of Gitanjali are the offerings of the finite to the infinite. The relationship between the two is conceived as that of love between the lover and the beloved, as Rabindranath said, joining the two hemispheres of the human world across the sea. Some of Tagore's translated poems are Leave This, The Boat, Last Curtain, Freedom, Let Me Not Forget, and many more.
The boat. I must launch out my boat. The languid hours pass by on the shore. Alas for me! The spring has done its flowering and taken leave. And now, with a burden of faded, futile flowers, I wait and linger.
The English translated version of Gitanjali, which Tagore named Song Offerings, was published by the famous Irish poets W.B. Yeats in the year 1912, and this translated work brought the most prestigious award, the Nobel Prize for literature to Rabindranath Tagore in the year 1913. The prize gained even more significance by being given to an Indian for the first time.
Made one, all the countries are losing their distance every day, their boundaries not offering the same resistance as they did in the past age. Politicians struggle to exploit this great fact and wrangle about establishing trade relationships. But my mission is to urge for a worldwide commerce of heart and mind, sympathy and understanding, and never to allow this sublime opportunity to be sold in the slave markets for the cheap price of individual profits, or be shattered away by the unholy competition in mutual destructiveness.
The Tagore's relationship is iconic of Indo-Irish connections, and the Irish poet's introductory remarks in Gitanjali are among the most cited in academic treatises on the subject. There is good reason for this. Although, like a teenage love affair, Yeats' fascination with Tagore was intense but short-lived. It is not only a commentary on cross-cultural encounters within the British colonial world, but also exemplary of Western conception of the Orient. What struck Yeats, like other Western readers of Tagore, was the religious and devotional nature of the poetry and its ability to read beyond national and class distinctions, a human condition. Yeats wrote in his introduction that I have carried the manuscripts of this translation about with me for days, reading it in railway trains or on the top of omnibuses and in restaurants. I have often had to close it lest some stranger would see how much it moved me. These lyrics display in their thought a world I have dreamed of all my life long, a tradition where poetry and religion are the same thing.
The First World War proved that tomorrow's history must begin with a chapter on internationalism, and that education must be in harmony with the times. In this situation, Rabindranath Tagore deplored the fact that India was divided by religious and social barriers and asked, can there be no white meeting place where all sects may gather together and forget their differences? This fundamental question became even more urgent with the bitter lessons of the First World War, when he began to proceed gradually to transform Shantiniketan into a world university, to which scholars from the East and West would be invited to meet and study each other's cultures. He named this university Vishwa Bharati and chose an excerpt from a Vedic text as its motto when inaugurating the institution, Yatra Vishwang Bhavatveka Niram, where the whole universe forms its one single nest. The free and unfettered expression of personality, in other words, selfless creativity, is a key to attaining to all manhood. The nest was a metaphor for intellectual and cultural exchange and cooperation.
There are not many poets who are desirous of wandering into distant lands. But Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore is one poet who so easily fits into that rare category. No poet in his era had travelled as extensively as Tagore, be it abroad or his own country. He travelled extensively to various countries of the world, but Europe attracted him the most, inspired him in thoughts, feelings, and reflections. At various stages in his life, Tagore visited many countries in the Western and Eastern Europe on a number of occasions. During these travels, he wrote poems and diary, letters to various personalities, but his urge to write songs never faltered.
In June 1912, Tagore stayed with his friend William Rothenstein in his house in London, and there he wrote the song Shundor Bote Tobo Ongod Khani Tarai Tarai. In 1913, Rabindranath wrote 2 other songs while living in Chelsea, a classy area of London. E Munihar Amar Nahi
Saje Ere porte gele lage Ere chhirte gele baje E Munihar Amar Nahi Saje কণ্ঠ যে রোধ করে সুর তো নাহি স্বরে কণ্ঠ যে রোধ করে সুর তো নাহি স্বরে ওই দিকে যে মন পড়ে রয় মন লাগে না কাজে এ মনিহার আমায় নাহি সাজে।
During his various trips abroad between 1912 and 1932, Tagore had to spend busy times in delivering lectures and attending receptions. For a brief period, the flow of songs was temporarily halted. There were trips when he did not pen a single song, surprising but true. But then in 1926, during his travels in Europe, he built a bunch of beautiful songs and presented 26 songs of intense emotion.
On the way to Germany, Tagore boarded a steamer and sitting in it, he wrote, She kon pagol jai pothe tor. The next stop was Berlin. During his 5-day stay, Tagore's German publisher Kurt Wolf organized a reception in poet's honor. There, Tagore met the German education minister Dr. Baker and Professor Albert Einstein. On 17th and 18th September, he flew to more songs from his pen. The first was Chutir Bashi Bajlo Je Ei Neel Gogone, and the second was Nai Nai Bhoy Hobe Hobe Joy. Nai Nai Bhoy Hobe Hobe Joy খুলে যাবে দ্বার খুলে যাবে দ্বার নাই নাই ভয় জানি জানি তোর বন্ধন ডোর ছিঁড়ে যাবে বারে বার ছিঁড়ে যাবে বারে বারে নাই নাই ভয়।
During his meet with the great scientist, the latter asked Tagore, Do you believe in the divine as isolated from the world? In reply to this, Tagore said, Not isolated. The infinite personality of man comprehends the universe. There cannot be anything that cannot be subsumed by the human personality, and this proves that the truth of the universe is human truth.
Rabindranath further traveled to Cologne, Dusseldorf, Berlin. Then he kept his feet at Prague for a 5-day stay, and there he met his old friend Professor Binternitz and Czech professor Lesny. Once there, a vocalist by the name of Zemlinsky entertained the poet with a number of Tagore songs in the Czech language. In 1926, Tagore visited a number of Eastern European countries. In Budapest, he again wrote a song.
One finds it extremely difficult to analyze how during hectic travel schedules one's mind is surged with lyrics in a totally alien environment. From a hotel room in Vienna, Tagore wrote in a letter, "Here I am at 3 in the morning, as it is. There is this darkness of night, covered in clouds. In my mind, I feel an intolerable restlessness to escape from myself at a furious speed. Where do I escape? From the din and bustle to music." And this is Rabindranath Tagore to us.
Dear Gurudev, days are endless since you went away, Victoria wrote. Tagore, on the other hand, wrote, "When we were together, we mostly played words and tried to love always our best opportunities. With Ocampo, my mind, like a migrant bird, tries to take flight to a distant shore. It was a subtle affair, a platonic love born on the banks of the river Plata. They spent together 2 unforgettable months in 1924 at Villa Minalrio of Victoria, with a view of the river in San Isidro on the outskirts of Buenos Aires."
প্লাতা নদীর কল্লোলিনী স্রোত আড়ি পেতে চুপ করে শুনত তাদের গভীর অথচ নিস্তব্ধ আলোচনা এবং একসাথে বাতাসে মিশ্রিত নিঃশ্বাসকে অনুভব করত। বাড়ির বাগানের বিখ্যাত টিপা গাছটি নতজানু হয়ে ঝুঁকে থাকত তাদের সামনে, শুনতে পেত তাদের স্তব্ধতাকে। তারা বসে থাকত সেই গাছের ছায়ায়। রবি ঠাকুর ডেকেছিলেন তাকে বিজয়া বলে। পূরবী কবিতার বেশিরভাগ কবিতায় তিনি অনুপ্রাণিত হয়েছিলেন এই আর্জেন্টাইন অ্যাঞ্জেল বা বিজয়ার থেকে। আশা বলে একটি কবিতায় তিনি তাদের এই প্রকৃতিকে যারা প্রত্যেক দিন তাদের সঙ্গ দিত তাদের বর্ণনা করতে গিয়ে লিখেছিলেন, "বহুদিন মনে করেছিনু আশা, ধরণীর এক কোণে রহিব আপন মনে, ধন নয় মান নয় একটুকু ভাষা, করেছিনু আশা। গাছটির স্নিগ্ধ ছায়া, নদীটির ধারা, ঘরে আনা গধূলিতে সন্ধ্যাটির তারা, চামেলির গন্ধটুকু জানালার ধারে, ভোরের প্রথম আলো জলের ওপারে, তাহারে জড়ায়ে ধীরে, ভরিয়া তুলিব ধীরে, জীবনের কদিনের কাঁদা আর হাসা, ধন নয় মান নয় এইটুকু আশা, করেছিনু আশা।" ওকাম্পোর বাসায় পূরবীর পাণ্ডুলিপিতে বিচিত্র কাটাকুটিতে উৎসাহ প্রদান এবং সেখান থেকে রবি ঠাকুরের শেষ বয়সে চিত্রকর রবীন্দ্রনাথ হয়ে ওঠার পেছনেও ওকাম্পোর বড় ভূমিকা আছে। 1930 সালে প্যারিসে রবীন্দ্রনাথের প্রথম চিত্র প্রদর্শনীর আয়োজনে উদ্যোগী ভূমিকা পালন করেন ভিক্টোরিয়া ওকাম্পো।
Inspired from Tagore and on her self-realization, once Ocampo quoted, "Morality, like physical cleanliness, is not acquired once and for all. It can only be kept and renewed by a habit of constant watchfulness and discipline." The much-written above relation flourished across 2 continents and spanned decades. There were many letters and gifts exchanged between the two, which speak of deep affection.
Ye thanks and praise, O bonny June, how can ye bloom? mission fair. How can ye chant, ye little birds, and I say weary through care?
You'll break my heart, ye warbling birds that wantons through the flowering thorn. Ye mind me of departed joys, departed never to return.
Phule phule dhole dhole bahe kiba mridubai totini hillolo tule kollole joliya jay.
Piko kiba kunje kunje, piko kiba kunje kunje, uhu uhu.
মোরা ভোরের বেলা ফুল তুলেছি, দুলেছি দোলায়, বাজিয়ে বাঁশি গান গেয়েছি বকুলের তলায়। মোরা ভোরের বেলা ফুল তুলেছি, দুলেছি দোলায়, বাজিয়ে বাঁশি গান গেয়েছি বকুলের তলায়। হায় মাঝে হলো ছাড়া ছাড়ি, গেলেম কে কোথায়, আবার দেখা যদি হলো সখা, প্রাণের মাঝে
কবিগুরু রবীন্দ্রনাথ ঠাকুর, যিনি সাহিত্য, সঙ্গীত, চিত্রকলা প্রভৃতি দিকে যার ব্যাপ্তি অসীম, ইংরাজি বা বিদেশি সাহিত্যের প্রতি, বিশেষত জার্মানি, ইংল্যান্ড প্রভৃতি দেশের সাহিত্যের প্রতি তাঁর প্রবল আগ্রহ বা টান ছিল। এ প্রসঙ্গে টি.এস. এলিয়টের লেখা দ্য জার্নি অব দি মাজাই এর অনুবাদ করে লেখা রবীন্দ্রনাথের তীর্থযাত্রী কবিতাটির দু চারটি লাইন আমি আপনাদের শোনাচ্ছি। মনে পড়ে এসব ঘটেছে অনেক কাল আগে, আবারও ঘটে যেন এই ইচ্ছে, কিন্তু লিখে রাখো, এই লিখে রাখো, এত দূরে যে আমাদের টেনে নিয়েছিল, সে কি জন্মের সন্ধানে না মৃত্যুর? জন্ম একটা হয়েছিল বটে, প্রমাণ পেয়েছি, সন্দেহ নেই। এর আগে তো জন্মও দেখেছি, মৃত্যুও। মনে ভাবতেম তারা এক নয়, কিন্তু এই যে জন্ম, এ বড় কঠোর, দারুণ এর যাতনা, মৃত্যুর মতো, আমাদের মৃত্যুর মতোই। এলেম ফিরে আপন আপন দেশে, এই আমাদের রাজত্বগুলোয়। আর কিন্তু স্বস্তি নেই সেই পুরনো বিধিবিধানে।
সব ঠাঁই মোর ঘর আছে, আমি সেই ঘর মরি খুঁজিয়া। দেশে দেশে মোর দেশ আছে, আমি সেই দেশ লব জুঝিয়া। পরবাসী আমি যে দুয়ারে চাই, তারই মাঝে মোর আছে যেন ঠাঁই। কোথা দিয়া সেথা প্রবাসীতে পাই, সন্ধান লব বুঝিয়া। ঘরে ঘরে আছে পরমাত্মীয়, তারে আমি ফিরি খুঁজিয়া। Tagore's vision of transcending time, place, space, and national boundary continues to resonate with people's dreams and hopes all over the world. To read Tagore today, it is also necessary to understand the various national and global events of the late 19th and early 20th century, which critically shaped the poet's language, incorporating distinctive multiple narratives. The welcoming attitude to Western civilization of Tagore was reinforced by this confidence. He did not see India's culture as fragile and in need of protection from Western influence. Rabindranath insisted on open debate on every issue and distrusted conclusions based on a mechanical formula. No matter how attractive that formula might seem in isolation. The question he persistently asks is whether we have reason enough to want what is being proposed, taking everything into account. Important as history is, reasoning has to go beyond the past. It is in the sovereignty of reasoning, fearless reasoning in freedom, that we can find Rabindranath Tagore's lasting voice. He brings together home, ghore, and the world, baire, together based on his beliefs on this lasting sense of freedom and reasoning. Thus he says, আজি হতে শত বর্ষ পরে কে তুমি পড়িছ বসি আমার কবিতা খানি কৌতূহল ভরে আজি হতে শত বর্ষ পরে. Tagore remains with us, still in our heart, mind, knocking in our souls, and we take shelter in Tagore each and every time the boat becomes tumultuous.
First of all, I would like to convey my heartful gratitude to the President of our Jyotirmoy School of Education, respected Dr. Partho Sarathi Ganguly sir, and convener, respected Anindita Ghosh ma'am, and the members of the Committee of English Literature and Rabindranath. My gratitude is also for my loving students who perform very nicely in this program, and really I am grateful especially to those whose tireless effort, Prathama and Sitomanath, are devoted to make this virtual presentation great success. And lastly, thanks to all JAC family. Thanks.
As giving it a hope that there it could not be that be.
But thou there on didst only breathe and sent it back to me. Since when it grows